Wonders of Grace. William Kelly. This friend was formerly a scholar in New Park Street Sabbath School in the late Mr. Burgess's class. But when he went out into the world, he went far into sin and was a great card player until shortly after Mr. Spurgeon came to London, when he was induced to attend the ministry, but did not receive any lasting good until about 6 years ago. Our pastor preached at the music hall from 7 texts. This completely overpowered him. He was melted to tears of penitence, much distressed on account of his past life. All his old habits he gave up, and the concern of his soul being his first and foremost anxiety. At length, in answer to prayer and continued attendance on the ministry, peace and joy was realized, and now is very anxious to follow Christ in baptism. He is well known to our brother Tucker. I cheerfully gave him a card, signed Henry Hanks, and has a note here concerning the Confession of Sin, a sermon with 7 texts. It was preached Sunday, January 18th, 1857 at the Music Hall, Royal Surrey Gardens. From Exodus 9:27, I have sinned. Marianne Edwards. This young person refers with much feeling to the dying prayers of her godly mother when she says that, although she was then very young, she has never been permitted to forget, although she strove for years to do so, everything of a religious character being then particularly obnoxious to her. She hated the instruction of her pious father. About 4 years since came, in the providence of God, to London to reside, and at that time entered the New Park Street Sunday School. But her heart remained hard and impenitent until she heard our pastor preach the sermon on the 3 lepers. The word came with power to her heart and brought her into deep distress lest God should at once call her to judgment for her sin. She remained in a state of mind bordering on despair for some months until she heard Mr. Spurgeon preach at Clapham from "And Jesus stood and cried, If any man thirst." This was a peculiar blessed season to her. Light broke in upon her soul, and she was enabled to put her trust in the atoning blood of Jesus Christ. Her mourning was turned into rejoicing. Is still looking alone to Jesus, finds the preached word much blessed to her soul, and also the instruction she receives in Mrs. Bartlett's class. I had much conversation with her, was greatly pleased with the evidence she gave of a change of heart, and with her doctrinal knowledge. Gave her a card, signed William Perkins. To God be the glory.